Now, back to the nitty-gritty. We had to start the book club, we had to do a lot of publicity. We did do posters at the front of the library, big ones. Got our graphics department to give us the big posters. We had our list posted at the information desk. We tried to talk to anyone who came up looking for fiction or who we know are our regular customers to tell them about the group. We sent our flyers around to the other groups. And it was posted on the webpage, front and center, new book forming, new book club forming, that kind of thing. So all the regular kind of discussions. Since then, we have gone from anywhere from a low of about 6 people to a high of 10. So it averages out, we usually have 7 or 8 people, which is a great amount for a book club. I have been in another book club where if you get over like 11 or 12, everybody doesn't have a chance to talk, and the shy ones are too intimidated. So 8 to 10 people is perfect. Also, it fits our book club kids. 10 one mistake I made initially was, I wish I had heard the discussion before, was too big of a book. We read The Time Traveler's Wife. That's big, and it's very confusing. If you're not used to reading sort of science fiction kind of stuff or fantasy, all this jumping around in time, a lot of people, especially the older participants, just said, I couldn't keep track of what was going on. So that was a big mistake. You live and learn. I usually start off the group by talking about the author, what awards they've won, what books they've written, that kind of thing. Then about maybe how they came to write the book, if there's any kind of interviews I've found. Then we do a round robin. And everyone's used to this now, because I don't want people to feel somebody can come in and take over the discussion. And that's not right. And the group knows it now, because I really try to move it along. And sometimes we'll just say, who wants to start? Or it'll be someone to my left or someone to my right, and it works out. We do have little tent cards with first names. It helps me because I'm lousy with names. I have this, I know it's a mental impairment, but it's so easy then to say Gail, Sally, you know, that kind of thing. Plus, anybody coming in new, they can see everybody's names. We do go around, and I try to keep people on track. The one comment I have had from at least 4 different members is, I like how you keep us on track. I belong to my neighborhood book club, my ladies group, and all it does is turn into a gossip session. Or we get off on somebody who had something. And it is good for people to put their own experiences in, but if it goes on too long, you gotta pull them back and go on to the next person. Once we go around and everybody, like, you know, tell us what you thought was the most important part of the book, or which character did you like. We go back, and if there's time, if the discussion just hasn't rolled along itself, that's when I dig into the questions and just throw them out, and that's when you can sort of get things going. We spend the last 10 minutes talking about the next book, handing out copies that I get for them, and suggestions, maybe 1 or 2 suggestions for the future for me to look into. I said the one thing I've learned is keep it short, historical fiction's good, and keep the ball rolling. And keep people from dominating the discussion. And even our shyest members now feel fine. We've had up to 15 different people, and as I say, they come and go. You know, they're on vacation, then they come back. So we don't always have the same group, but we do have a group of about 4 that are there all the time, and the other 4 come and go. So.
Thank you. discussion group, our kit.
How do I get them back?
No, I was gonna say, what if the people who are there all want to go to the next group, and the person who's on vacation also wants, and just getting
Right.
other books that
Well,
are outside the discussion group?
What I do, if I use a kit, I do, sign them out, I get the person's name, and if it's somebody I don't know from the regular group, I'll get their library card number or their phone number. Because they might be just dropping in and then they take a book club kit and then they leave and they don't come back. So I have had to track down a few that way, but I've always gotten them back. Normally what I do is I gather all the copies I can from the library system. And I keep an eye out. We have a paperback collection, read and returns. And I keep an eye on what's going out there. And if I see books that I might consider for the book club, I grab them. Now, we did Snowflower and the Secret Fan, we did Water for Chocolate, and I grabbed 2 or 3 read and returns when I thought we might have them. So then I take the books, and then I have these paperbacks that I can lend out to people. Sometimes, if we're short, I will ask people, look, take the book and read it, and if you finish it early, bring it back in case I have someone waiting. And then I'll call them. I called somebody yesterday. I said, hey, we're going to be doing, what are we doing? Oh, City of Falling Angels. And we only had 7 copies in the system. I did find 1 read and return. So I finished my copy, that I had of my own. I had a personal copy, and I called somebody on the list and said, I got a copy for you, And so we still got a couple of weeks before the book has to be read. So it's just a little juggling.
Any other questions?